kudos to you, first of all, off the bat, for taking time for you. Something prompted you to be here tonight, and you're already showing up to learn what you can do for yourself. So, welcome. You're welcome to turn your cameras on. You don't have to. This is going to be a little bit interactive here. I'm going to ask you some questions along the way. We are here to talk about hormones, metabolism, and why so many women feel stuck, even if they are doing all of the right things. I'm so glad you're here because this topic is deeply personal for me. And I am grateful that we're finally having more open conversations around hormone health. Tonight, we will walk through the slides, share real experiences, and save time for questions at the end because I want to know what brought you here today, and I want to help you personally. My goal is to help you understand what is happening in your body and why nothing else seems to be working. The most important thing for you to know is that you are not doing anything wrong, and I'm here to help you feel like yourself again. All right. I want to know if you are experiencing things like what you see on the slide here, feeling like you're doing all the right things, but nothing seems to be working. You feel exhausted no matter how much you rest. Your mood is all over the place. Your brain feels like it's all over the place. You can't focus. You can't even sleep through the night. Not to mention, sex drive is gone and you feel bloated. No matter what you eat or don't eat, I remember thinking, I sleep, I eat clean, I move my body. Why am I still so tired? If you're nodding right now, please know that you are not broken, nor are you alone in this. Before we jump in, I want to hear from you. If you would, please go ahead and type in the chat a word or a short phrase that describes your biggest struggle right now when it comes to hormones, nutrition, or fitness. Don't overthink it, just whatever comes to mind. Are you tired? Are you stuck? Brain fog, belly fat, nothing works. Type in the chat. I do have my head nutrition coach with me here today. She is listening and going to be reading and responding to you in the chat as I am chatting here.
Yes,
As we
we've got belly, losing weight, low energy, bloating, all of it. So, hi, I'm Jen, by the way.
All right. Love it. So, nothing that I've said so far is a surprise. And that is good news because it means we know what you're talking about and what you're dealing with. So, like I said, a lot of what you just shared matches what is on this slide. That's because we know what you're experiencing and how discouraging this phase of your life can be. Now, when I am talking about menopause, I want you to know that it is any stage in which your hormones start changing, whether you are in your mid 30s or postmenopause. So, we are talking about all the pre, peri, and postmenopausal symptoms here. All right. I know this phase can be discouraging. And you might be what I like to call um, Instagram hopping for advice. You might be asking Dr. Google about what's going on for you, or trying all of the variety of advice and supplements that you see pop up online. So, everything that you just threw into the chat describes exactly what I truly felt like. I felt like I was going crazy and that I didn't have control of my body anymore. I felt like I needed maybe more discipline. But everything I had always done, all the things that had worked in my entire life, suddenly stopped working for me around 40. I was barely eating, I was exhausted all the time, and my workouts, the same ones that had always worked for me, suddenly did nothing. And honestly, that messes with your confidence. It messed with mine. I felt depressed, and the exhaustion was unbearable. I struggled to remember simple words, which was both not only frustrating, but also scary. And when you don't know what's going on inside of your body and you feel like you're not in control, it's terrifying. But that's when I realized it wasn't about willpower anymore. It's about hormones. And this is what I like to refer to as the hormone chaos of menopause, right? When you're working harder than ever, but seeing fewer results. I tried intermittent fasting, harder workouts, ones I hated, by the way. And I came to realize that when I was in this phase, it demanded a different approach. Not more discipline, but more accountability, more support, more food, believe it or not, and more intention. This is where science, accountability, and personalization really matters. Let's dive into what's actually happening underneath these symptoms for you. To kick this off, I want you to answer something else for us here. On a scale of 1 to 10, how well do you feel that your metabolism is running right now? Just type in a number. Don't overthink it. What is your first instinct? 1 would mean you feel like your metabolism is out of gas. It is not running. You're stalled out. Your body is not responding. A 10 would mean you feel energized, confident, and in sync with your body. But let's face it, if we were at a 10, we wouldn't be here today. This is not about judgment. It's about awareness, knowing where you are and where you need to get. That is the first step. All right, what numbers are we seeing in here? 5,
Negative
7,
two.
-2. You know what I like to see about that? 1, I like to see honesty. 2, it means you're in tune with yourself. And 3, there's room for improvement. Thanks for sharing, ladies. All right. So, what do we do from here? Figure out how to change our slide. There we go. The big thing for you to know is that there is hope. Okay. I was a dancer growing up. I was healthy. I moved, and I never had to really worry about my body. I felt confident in it. I'm 45. I am a mom of 2 now, and I felt like I was hit by a truck one day because I realized my clothes weren't fitting and I didn't know what to do. I ate healthy. Brain fog was real, and it had nothing to do with the fact that my kids weren't sleeping through the night anymore because they were, but I wasn't, right? I didn't feel myself. And that is a hard way to feel. So I want you to know that if you feel like you're doing all the right things, that even doing all the right things, you can still struggle. Also, the most important thing for you to know today is that you are not alone. This slide represents the moment when everything changed for me. When I stopped trying to control my body and instead focused on supporting it, especially my hormones and cortisol, everything shifted. Okay. I was not just a mom of 2, I was a business owner, a Pilates instructor that taught classes in my studio, and a teacher trainer. So those things in and of themselves left me constantly exhausted, overwhelmed, and frustrated. Because in addition to that, I was navigating changes in my body that I didn't understand. I knew something wasn't right, but I didn't yet have the tools or the language to explain it, to have the answers for what was going on. And I wanted those answers, not only for myself, but also for the women I worked with on a daily basis in my studio. I realize I haven't mentioned yet, I am the owner of a boutique Pilates and wellness studio in Charlotte, North Carolina. We have been open and working with women, impacting their lives for the better for 11 years. But no matter how much I saw those women increase their confidence, strength, and body composition by working with us in Pilates, in strength training, they still had struggles that were real, that needed more support from just adding in an amazing workout routine. So that realization led me to get certified in nutrition and hormone coaching, not just for myself, but because I felt called to help women understand that what was going on with them. I want them to know they're not broken, that there are things that they can do, and that they aren't alone. And that's exactly why what we do works. We combine real life experience with science and education, so women feel supported instead of blamed. What we teach isn't just theory, it's lived. And that is so powerful. Okay, so like I said, we've been open since 2014. We've helped over 10,000 women. Our clients on average lose 10 to 15 pounds and 4 to 6% body fat in 12 weeks. But what's beautiful about this is that there are no meal plans, extreme restrictions, or overhauls. There is no external supplement or machine that you need to get. It all comes from within you. And let me tell you, it is powerful when you realize that you can do this. What we're going to show you today is 3 signs that you're eating too little. 4 key factors that help regulate the foundations of hormones, the hormone pyramid, and 3 core nutrition principles. You're going to walk away with several actionable steps that you can start doing as soon as tomorrow. This is for you if you feel you barely eat anything or are still not losing weight. You're doing everything you've always done, nothing works. You're eating less, you're feeling frustrated, cutting calories isn't working, it's not sustainable, and it's not effective. Your doctors might have even said that your blood work looks normal, but your body does not feel normal, right? And this just leaves you fatigued, moody, stuck. You feel restricted, you feel burned out, and hopeless. If even one of these things resonated, you're exactly in the right place. You're where so many women are when they come to work with us. And the good news is there's a different way forward. Okay, this approach is gentle. It works even if you feel like you've done every diet. The average female that comes to work with us has tried 9 different workouts on average before they seek the help of an accountability and nutrition coach. Our approach does require honesty. So if you're tired of extremes, this is for you. Maybe you've tried different online challenges, workout plans in addition to diets, only to end up right back where you started. You just know you don't feel your best, but you are tired of guessing at what might work. All right. So why me? Why am I different? Right. I've been through it. I have a brick and mortar business and have helped thousands of women. And on top of that, I'm a certified not only nutrition coach, but with a hormone focused specialty certification. I've also partnered with Healthy Steps Nutrition, and this is huge for you. Healthy Steps Nutrition was recently named the top habit-based coaching service of 2025 by the Healthcare Business Review. This isn't just a diet, it is a doctor-backed program trusted worldwide with a proven track record of helping over 50,000 people improve their health and feel their best. So if you're ready to stop trying to figure it out alone and want to finally feel confident in your plan, I'm here to help. All right. This makes me smile. This is not for you if you're looking for quick fixes over sustainable health. If you aren't willing to exercise 2 to 3 times a week, I don't ask my clients for anything extreme. It's about moving your body in healthy, feel-good ways. If you aren't willing to learn or adapt, if you are so stuck in your ways, or if you just believe you need to try harder and eat less, I understand if you feel like you need to eat less, but I'm going to to prove to you why that is not going to work for you. If you stay here with me to the end, I have a couple of bonus resources for you. One, I will send you a guide to navigating menopause gracefully, and also a hormone-friendly meal plan. I know I mentioned we don't do meal plans, and we don't. What it is a guide that gives you a template for what is enough of the right foods. How much should I be eating in a day in general? All right, this is where I get really excited. The biggest misconception about weight loss and menopause is that you need to reduce carbs and eat minimal calories to lose weight. Oh, this is a problem. Your body adapts and low calories become your baseline, which makes long-term weight loss almost impossible with this approach. Your body goes into survival mode. When your food intake drops significantly, your body interprets it as scarcity. So it reduces your energy expenditure to preserve calories. So guess what your body does become more efficient at? It becomes more efficient at burning fewer calories. My favorite analogy to explain this is to think of your metabolism as a fire. In order to get a roaring bonfire, you need to fuel it with enough wood, kindling, oxygen. As the fuel, aka kindling, burns and the fire dwindles, the only way to increase the size of the fire and the burn is to feed the fire. The same goes for your metabolism. When your body is not receiving enough fuel or food to properly support all of your body's functions, it just doesn't work the way you want it to. And did you know that low calorie intake affects hormones that regulate your hunger and energy use, which can lead to sluggishness and increased fat storage? All right, here we go. I want to make this really real for you here. We see this all the time, okay? A client I've worked with recently genuinely thought she was eating too much. But when we walked through her day, she was barely getting enough fuel to support her minimal daily caloric needs, let alone her workouts, her stress levels, or her hormones. So she was exhausted. Her weight wouldn't budge, and she felt like her metabolism had completely slowed down because it had. Once we slowly increased her intake and supported her hormones instead of restricting more, her energy improved, her cravings calmed down, and her body finally started responding again. This is why eating less often feels like it's the answer, but ends up being the problem. All right. This sort of summarizes what I just talked about, why your body holds on to your weight. If you're in a chronic calorie deficit, your metabolism slows, your daily energy burn drops, your weight loss stalls, and your body resists fat loss. Here you see me talking about cortisol. High cortisol also helps your body hold on to weight, which really isn't helping what our goal is, right? So poor sleep, increased stress, all of these things increase cortisol. So again, it helps the cycle continue, and we have to take active, specific steps to break it. All right. So your metabolism has adapted and is fighting back. This is why cutting calories during menopause backfires. All right, so now we want to shift. If we're not going to cut calories, what is it going to do? It's going to calm our hormones. It's not about eating less, but it is about reducing cortisol and hormone chaos. All right, low intake of calories can affect hormones, and I know I've said this, but it's so important, that can regulate hunger and energy use. So that's why you feel sluggish, you have brain fog, and you have that increased fat storage particularly probably around that midsection. And during a time of life when consistent and quality sleep can be harder to come by, low calorie intake can exacerbate your unwanted symptoms of these things. All right, so these are the signs, again, of hormone chaos and high cortisol, right? Trouble sleeping, disrupted sleep, stuck with weight, fatigue, low energy, mood swings, brain fog, forgetfulness, weight gain despite doing everything right, right? High stress and inflammation. We'll talk more about that in a moment. And being stuck in the belief that you can't eat to lose weight. A lot of the shifts that we need to make do start with a mindset shift. I just love this hormone pyramid. All right. Many women jump into cutting calories, searching for the right supplement, just like I did, or diet, and pushing themselves more with higher impact workouts, more cardio and stress inducing workouts. But you won't see any of those things on this pyramid. Just like in building a house where a strong, stable foundation is integral to the quality of the rest of the house, your body needs certain things addressed in a proper order, and even more so during this time of your life than previously to function optimally. Order does matter. Okay? Weight loss does get easier when the foundation is supported. It just goes to show that if the bottom isn't solid, the top won't work. So this is such an important visual because so many women start at the top and that's why they feel stuck. Okay. We were taught to eat less, work out harder, push through, but your foundation isn't supported if you're not first getting the sleep quality, stress regulation, blood sugar, levels and healthy gut function and digestion that you need to first support your hormones and reduce your cortisol. This is a fun fact. I love fun facts. Uh, most women should only take in 25 grams of added sugar in a day. That number is very low compared to what we are probably and to what most women take in without realizing it. Even if you think you're taking in healthy foods, there's a lot of hidden sugars. So keep that in mind. All right. I want to tell you now about three core nutrition principles that support hormonal balance. Okay. These nutrition habits help regulate cortisol, stabilize blood sugar, and give your metabolism the fuel it needs to work again. Let's talk carbs. So many women are scared of carbs, but low glycemic carbs, some examples are beans, berries, squash. These are the types of carbs you want in your body. They help reduce cortisol and help promote restful sleep. Okay. Increasing fiber helps combat the negative effects that lower estrogen levels have on your gut. And protein, oh my gosh, is integral for so many things. All right, another fun fact coming your way. But first, I want to see what you think about protein. If you would be so kind as to throw a number in the chat and take a guess at how many grams of protein you think you should have in a day. Again, no wrong answers. Let's see what we have here. Your body weight. Good guess, Lila. Oh, a couple people have sent me here. Oh, thank you, Jen, for answering all these awesome questions in here. All right. So a lot of times I get a lot of hundreds, right? Here's what it is. You're very close, Lila. It is your body weight. You should have enough grams of protein in a day equal to what your ideal body weight is. Okay. So if I am throwing out there, if I was 150 pounds, my ideal body weight was 125 pounds, I need to work up to 125 grams of protein a day, right? And there is a right and healthy way to do that. And it is not as daunting as it sounds when you have the right support. All right. Thank you for participating, ladies. All right. How I applied these principles to my own health. So before, spent a lot of money, a lot of time trying different things, several failed supplements. You know, you know how it is when you start looking something up online, you start getting all of these suggestions and ads thrown at you. I fell for a lot of it. I tried a lot of it. I threw a lot of it out because it didn't work. Okay. I asked my primary doctor for help. They just said, it's normal. Essentially, deal with it. Got no answers. I felt stuck and alone. Okay. But after learning about how my habits affect my hormones. I didn't need help externally, right? If my doctor said I did, that is one thing, but there's so much we have the power to do with our mindset and simple habits. I had improved energy because I revved up my metabolism, and it wasn't by cutting things out. It was eating more. It was eating the right things. And I like to eat, so that was a win-win. And again, I felt stronger, calmer, and honestly more myself. The belief shift has to be that there's not one size fits all. And that's a problem with a lot of the quick fixes you see online. Yeah, they're going to work for some women, but guessing is expensive and frustrating and waste time. So why not start from a personalized approach and get where you deserve to be faster? Because hormones are individualized, and what works for one may not work for another. And I see this all the time. All right, let's talk about the method that balances hormones and reduces cortisol. It is sustainable and science-based. It is habit-based, it is focused, it is personalized, and it supports naturally balancing hormones. This is the thing This is the part where things usually feel lighter for women because it's not about doing more or trying harder. It's about supporting your body in a way that actually works with your hormones, in a way that feels good and is sustainable. And that's a key part here. All right. What real success looks like when your body works with you. Again, I like science, I like facts, and I like analogies. Okay. I want you to think about putting on your seatbelt here. Okay. You do it because it is an automated habit. You know the benefits. It makes you feel safe, right? It is routine. That is what we ultimately have to work to develop so that the changes that you make feel natural. You feel better, safer, and more like yourself and supported when you do them. So you do them naturally and automatically. Okay. Another fun fact, research found that why focusing on a single habit at a time is so much better is because if you change only one habit at a time, the chance of retaining that habit for a year or more goes up to 80%. Okay. If you're trying to change two habits at once, your success drops to below 35%. That is a huge, drastic drop. And if you try and change three or more habits at a time, your success rate at maintaining those habits after a year plummets to 5%. So think about times where you have subscribed to following a detailed and specific meal plan. You had to change your shopping habits, how many meals you prepped and cooked, how you cooked them, what you ate, when, etc. This is also why you stopped following that meal plan when you were done with it. And any weight you lost or progress you made when following that strict plan also went away. If this has happened to you before, there's a thumbs up in the chat. So, what we do finally gets you to a point where you stop feeling like you are starting over again every Monday. Some thumbs up coming in. Love it. Again, more proof you're not alone. Okay. All right. Four core systems that drive hormonal and metabolic change. These four systems listed here: gut, liver, blood sugar balance, and inflammation. Supporting these things helps regulate hormones naturally. Okay. A healthy gut plays vital roles in hormone balance, including the regulation of estrogen level. Liver health. Your liver acts like one of your body's filters. It removes toxins and excess hormones. We can have too little of certain hormones, we can also have too much. And you need your liver to be working and filtering those properly. Blood sugar balance is crucial for hormone health. All right. Swings can cause a roller coaster of symptoms, both high and low. Low blood sugar can leave you shaky, anxious, sweaty, tired, with headaches, hunger pains, right? And chronically high levels can disrupt your sleep, zap your energy, and trigger mood swings. And we know we don't need to add fuel to the fire when we're talking about these symptoms. All right. And inflammation. All right. Inflammation is your body's immune response to stress or injury to the body. Okay. This is your body's way of responding to flight or fight. And you do not want your body to be in a constant state of flight or fight. All right. Why our clients see such powerful results? We're not extreme. We focus on adding, not taking away. Habit stacking, that automated, natural, feel good, feel protected instinct that stays with you for life. Again, that's why it's sustainable. Okay. And when you feel stronger, calmer, and more like yourself, the results just snowball. The biggest thing, it's not even on here, is accountability. Most programs and coaches don't have the level of accountability that we give you. I like to say we are in your back pocket when you work with us because life is going to happen and you need to know how to navigate that and still see results. Okay. This is where and how so many women feel relief because it shifts the focus from fixing hormones to supporting the systems that influence them. And it leaves you feeling like you're not alone and that there is light at the end of the tunnel. All right. Our method at Core Innovations is very high level and not like anything else. Simple, habit-based, holistic, and personalized. This is the framework that brings everything together. And what I love about this method is that it's not about doing everything at once. It's about small habits, practiced consistently, and personalized to what your body actually needs. That's what makes it sustainable, and that's why it works. All right. Is our method right for you? If you want a customized program, you're done guessing, you want to stop restricting, who doesn't want to reduce stress? You want deep, restful sleep. You want it to be sustainable, and you want your body to respond. Right? If you're not ready to invest in your health, if you prefer piecing together Instagram advice, or if you believe that what's happening to you is just aging and that nothing can be done, right? Again, it's about an open mindset. All right. We do have our clients, on average, lose 10 to 15 pounds and 4 to 6% body fat, but that is just the tip of the iceberg. That is the external stuff and the stuff that the scale measures, right? But improved energy, reduced fatigue, sleeping better, um, fitting in your clothes better, having that confidence, feeling like you again, there is so much that you get. It is just beautiful to watch and inspiring to see and be a part of. So from here, I have two options for you. You've stayed with us. I feel like we've connected and I would love to dive deeper. Path one, you keep guessing, you keep eating less, nothing changes. Fatigue and cravings continue, and your body keeps fighting back. Path two, you're ready. You're ready for clarity. You're ready to find out what you can do to support your hormones and metabolism. You're ready to build lasting habits, to stop guessing, and to feel energized and confident again. If you're ready for path two, here's what we're going to do. All we want is for you to book a strategy call with us. How do you apply with us? You simply scan this QR code. Jen is also going to drop a link in the chat, right? There is a super quick application. We just kind of want to know where you're starting from. What are you hoping to get out of this call? The strategy call is 45 minutes, right? We'll talk about what's going on with you, and you will leave with some actionable steps to walk away with, whether you decide to work with us or not. So, we often think about the cost of doing things, taking action. This is a case where the cost of doing nothing is a lot more. The cost of doing nothing will cost you more time, frustration, money, and doubt in the long run. You'll keep guessing, keep dieting, back on that roller coaster. That only exacerbates poor gut health and further disrupts hormone function, further disrupting sleep, raising cortisol levels, right? You're not getting enough nutrients if you continue to cut out more food with hopes of losing weight. So again, you'll just perpetuate that negative cycle, and I don't want that for you. You're here, book that call. Again, if you haven't seen it in the chat, it's right there for you. But I want to get to hear from you now. If you can throw your questions in the chat, I want to hear what you're wondering about from me. If you are on social media, that's probably where you heard about this, but look for us at Core Innovations. We are posting nutrition supportive information, hormone supportive information all the time. All right, let's see what we've got here. Ask away. All right, so I did get this question. I have a couple of private messages here. So I am a certified nutrition coach. The beautiful part about working with Healthy Steps Nutrition is that you get, when you work with me, not only myself or one of my coaches, but you also get a whole team. We work with dietitians, and we also do have the opportunity to offer you Dutch Plus hormone testing. It is a dried urinary panel, which gives you even more in-depth information about your hormones than just simple blood work from a doctor's office. So when we chat on our strategy call, if you want to know more about what that looks like and how that can help support you, definitely please bring that up. I actually have a client, Melissa. She just turned 45. She travels for work more than she is at home. And she was just ready for a change. But she had tried all the things and she felt stuck. And 45 felt like a pretty major milestone birthday to her. So when we actually took a deep dive into what was going on, just like I've talked about today, she wasn't eating enough and not nearly enough protein. So working with her, adding in protein, adding in more snacks, helping her identify healthy choices when she is not able to prep her meals on the go. Just in her first month alone, she lost 1.5% body fat and 6 pounds. She already noticed her clothes feeling better, and that momentum just snowballed. And we are 3 months in now, and she said that she is training and recovering better for a marathon that she's working on than she did when she was 30. So that's huge. Jen, let me know if you had any other questions come in to your private chat there.
The biggest one I get is I feel like I'm eating or I'm barely eating, and why am I not losing the weight?
Yeah, and I think, we kind of touched on that is your metabolism has just slowed down and we need to reinvigorate it. And we have a very strategic approach about how we do that. Um, and that the good news is it's one of the easiest things to change. I also do get questions about, supplements. We are by no means against supplements, by no means against HRT. If it's something your doctor recommends, absolutely, right? We are here to support that. We are not pro or against, but what we are about, no matter what you are on, whether it is GLP or hormones or nothing, you have to develop the habits that are going to support your body from the inside out, regardless of supplementation or not. Um, some of these things are not meant to be forever. And so we have a lot of success working with women, whether they are on supplements or not, because then they learn how to properly fuel their body to make sure they're eating enough so that they don't have the drastic muscle loss that we are seeing with a lot of clients that might be on GLP-1. So while I didn't specifically talk about supplementation, we start at the bottom of the pyramid and work our way up, and we support and want to know about whatever your doctor has recommended for you. Um, Absolutely. Got one more minute here, so all right. So just one last time. Yep, there is the link one more time. If you book a call, it's free and you've taken this step. I'm so excited. Balanced is a result of IVF. So that is a great question, and that is a deep dive discussion. And what I like to call is when we have a strategy session, that's our kickoff. If it's something we can talk about there, when we do work with someone, we go into after the strategy session, an initial deep dive, 1 hour conversation, and we go into all of the things that could be affecting what is going on with you. I will ask what your doctors have said or have not said. We will pull a dietitian into it, and we'll approach it from a team approach. Um, that is a very real thing. Wish I could give a specific answer more than that, but is certainly something we would deep dive into 100%. Um, Again, it's about supporting your body where it's at, um, to get it where you need it and want it to be. Thanks for sharing and asking. All right, I'll be reaching out to you all, following up, seeing what questions you have. I look forward to talking with those of you that have already booked. If you haven't, snag a spot quickly, and we look forward to chatting with you further. Thanks for your time tonight. Bye.